All right, everybody, welcome to Hot Couch Potato, the podcast where we talk about video games and driving up to LA without traffic.
Come visit me. Yay.
My name is Brett, aka Boo Wop. I'm here with my man Rick, aka A New Perfect Day. What's going on, man?
Hey, I totally forgot what was I gonna say.
Oh no, dude.
So this whole week was I just remember that Brent was like telling me something and I would just always forget, or I just been out of it with my mind, and he was recommending me these old man pills. So it looks like I might have to start taking old man pills in order to start remembering what is going on, because I've been out of it for this whole week. It's just been playing games, detuning from work, and I've been kind of missing out on work with Amazon. And I was like, oh man, just being able to take off and play video games all week, that's my life for this week.
Yeah, man, it's been scaring me so much where I had to research the pills for this man, dude. He forgot his bet for our Game of the Year awards, and starting to freak me out, man. I don't know where Rick's head is at right now, but we'll get it right, dude.
Shit.
We'll get it right. But yeah, dude, funny story. I think I told you this already, man. But last week I was trying to get lunch for myself and some coworkers. We were all just hanging around my desk on a Friday, just bullshitting and stuff. And everyone was talking about where we were going to get lunch. And I work downtown right next to Petco Park here in San Diego. And there's a Lolita's right across the street.
Oh, this story.
I just got reminded of this. So there's a Lolita's right across the street from Petco Park, which is like a 10-minute walk away from where we work. So it's perfect. We can call in, order some good but overpriced Mexican food, and then just take it back to the job, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Lolita's is kind of a staple out here, right? I mean, there's more than one Lolita's location out here. There's the one in Bonita and one in Eastlake or something like that too. There's a few of them out here.
Yeah.
But none of us know the phone number for this place, right? So we're all around my desk. So of course I'm on the computer. I'll go into Google, open up a Google tab, and type in Lolita's, thinking that it'll use my location, right? For whatever reason, I'm under an image search, and when the results pop up, it's a bunch of like underage Asian girls in fucking high school girl outfits and like fucking poofy dresses and shit like that.
No.
And all the angles of the cameras are like just in the right place, so you're not quite looking up their skirt, but kind of up their skirt.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is going on, dude?
You're gonna get visited by the FBI soon.
Bro, I know, at my fucking job. Can you believe that shit?
Holy shit.
So I'm sitting here, and yeah, I have fucking 5 people around me, and they're all like, Brent, what the fuck are you looking up? And I go, bro, I don't know. Look, I just typed in Lolita's. I'm looking for the phone number. What is this shit? You know what I mean? So we're like scrolling through it, and we're like, what the fuck is all this stuff? And then we just go back and do a regular Google search to go and find the phone number. We order our food and all that stuff, and we get back to it, and we're like, all right.
But now everyone's talking about you in the office.
Dude, now we're trying to get down to what the fuck Lolita's has to do with like Asian girls in poofy dresses and shit like that. And I don't know, man. What is it? It's like a style or something like that?
It's supposed to be like small child or something like that in Japanese. Loli, Loli.
And what is it, like some weird fetish thing over there, dude?
Yeah, I guess so. That is, Japan. I don't know if it's just Japan, but I know there's a lot of different types of fetishes that these people have, and so it's kind of hard to You know, not noticing if you're like really deep into anime and you're like, what is going on here? You know, it's just these animators can get away with a lot of things, and then they start labeling all of these fetishes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
It reminded me of like that Neko Para stuff you were telling me about, man.
Oh,
that
gotcha.
cat made game. Like a lot of the chicks look like dressed up like that, but
yeah,
Japan is fucking weird. Don't they have another one where they all want to be like what are they called, like Jersey Shore characters? Their skin's all yellow or their skin's all blonde,
they're
and
like
they have blonde
orange
hair.
or yeah. I don't know what those
too?
are called. Yeah. I seen those, you know, they're like super, like, I don't know, kind of like Donald Trump kind of brown or like orange glow.
And then they have blonde hair and just heavy ass makeup, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
Japan's fucking weird. I'd still love to visit it one day, dude. We go to visit
all their quirkiness, and all that. Yeah.
Watch, we go to visit and they like stop us at the airport, like, excuse me, on this day, did you say Japan is weird? We're like, maybe. You're gonna fucking kick us out, dude.
Okay, you can come in now.
Oh yeah, that's true. That actually probably let us in. So yeah, be careful when you search for Lolitas on the internet, man. Make sure you put like Lolitas Taco Shop or Lolitas San Diego.
Spell it all out.
Yeah, put everything out. Don't just randomly put Lolitas in your search bar. Jesus, especially at work. Jesus Christ,
definitely. Dude. Yeah. Oh, now I just remember what I was gonna talk about. It took me this long to remember. So, you know, on Black Friday we were heading back up, and Marnelli wanted to stop by a Bose store. Mm-hmm. And I remember her dad saying he wanted a Bose speakers, like computer speakers for his computer and all. And you know, the sale was, I think there was only like two computer speakers, and then they were Bose, and they're like only $50, some sort of Black Friday deal. Mm-hmm. And so I decided to pick it up, and Marnelli bought herself, I think, an entertainment system that was like $100. Basically, it's $200 originally. Mm. And so, like, you know, she's super excited for this system, and I'm like, I got nice speakers finally, because I normally use headsets. Mm-hmm. And we head home, and I set up her Bose system for the TV, and we turned up the bass all the way. So we're just like watching everything like all night, just, you know, anything like Food Channel, I don't know, Jersey Shore, and everything, just music and all that. And then the next day, like, I decided to hook up my computer system or speakers, and then we hear the doorbell ring, and then, you know, I go to answer it, and it turns out is our neighbor from below saying we're too fucking loud.
Oh no, dude.
So the irony is, like, we have two brand new fucking speakers, but we cannot use them at all. We got to use them on like very low settings, because apparently he can hear this shit. And I was like, man, this is a big waste of money.
Oh my god, dude. Was that the first time you ever met the person?
Yeah, so I was like, it was kind of awkward, because I already knew when that person rang the doorbell. I was like, fuck, I have a feeling it's going to be someone from below, because no one visits each other, you know, in an apartment building. Mm-hmm. But apparently, he just came up and he was like, excuse me, you guys are kind of too loud. I can hear the bass going all night long. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. We just got new speakers, and I'll turn it off. I'll turn it down and all that. He's like, yeah, I've been working, you know, all this hours.
Oh my
I'm a
god.
nurse. And here's my life story. And,
are you serious?
Yeah, dude. I was like, dang. You know, I was like, dude, sorry, man, sorry. So like that day, we just like, I just had my headset back on. Marnelli put like subtitles on the TV, so we're just watching it in low volume.
Dude, I think you should just turn down your sub for the bass.
Yeah,
because that thing actually will like vibrate. Yeah. So I think you just have to turn that down and you'll be straight.
Yeah, I was like, damn, too. And it was just like a month ago where I was like, man, the people above me have very loud footsteps, you know? It's like, geez, I can hear them. Now I feel bad because I had that shit on all night long.
Dude, in my old place too, man. I feel like they would do construction at like 3 a.m, dude. Or like everyone in the house owned like high heels, and their entire floor was made out of marble. So when they walked, it's like ka-dunk, 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 ka-dunk. You could hear them just walking down the halls and shit, man. What is it with upstairs neighbors, dude? They're fucking so loud, dude.
I don't know. They need to like have some soundproof shit because I'm always loud. I like to play my games on loud, everything on loud. I don't know, I jump up and down just for fun. So now I'm just like super cautious. I gotta wear my ninja shoes all the time. Oh yeah, I got my ninja shoes.
Wait, what ninja shoes? They're like little toesies.
Got it from Japan. They're fucking they're like one goes for the toe and one goes for all the 4 feet.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so it's ninja shoes, and it's like modern wear or something. So you can just wear this out and about. It's like kind of like tennis shoes, but
dude,
yeah.
Are you wearing these to PSX?
Dude, I might as well.
Holy shit!
I'll bring them.
These might have to happen, dude. These might have to happen. That's fucking hilarious, bro.
Directly from Japan.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, we'll get back to video games. Unfortunate news, man, for Destiny 2. The new DLC, Curse of Osiris, drops on Tuesday, December 5th. So it's coming up here.
Woo!
Yeah, December 5th. They're going to drop Curse of Osiris. And the past 3 weeks, they were supposed to have a stream on every Wednesday, just highlighting some new updates that'll be going on during this new DLC pack or this new kind of semi-expansion. Now, I say supposed to because not all of them happened. They had the first 2, and there was so much backlash, so much hate about how Destiny 2 isn't the game it was supposed to be. They completely canceled the one that was supposed to happen last week.
Shit.
So it turned from, and here's how it went. The second stream came out where they talked about the game and how things were changing. And the community manager was running through this new public event, and he was bragging the whole time about how we're going to get showered in rewards. There's going to be so much loot for us, right? When they finished the public event and the chests popped up, because now there's 2 chests, not just one that appear. 2 chests popped up. And he went in to pick up what was in the chests after bragging for maybe 10 minutes about getting great loot. Guess what he got? He got 2 coins and a blue. And once that happened, the room kind of paused. He was like, all right, let's go get my loot because I know that's what we all care about. And he picked up the 2 coins and the little blue arm piece. And
wow, how awkward is that?
The room got so quiet, dude.
Holy shit!
And
I
it
would
got
not be that guy,
dude. I know, and it got so bad that 2 coins and a blue was trending on social media for a little bit. Like the hashtag was trending on social media, just roasting Bungie on their failed attempts to try and appease the audience, man. Because even though they'll tell us everything's changed, by all accounts and purposes, it looks like it's business as usual on these public events, man.
Yeah, I read an article like how they were just spending all that time just apologizing to their fans and all that. And I was like, geez.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, that's what it turned to, right? Like after that, everybody was upset, and of course they're just trashing Bungie online. And then they changed what was going to be their stream to we're just going to update you guys on what the state of Destiny is going to be going into the future. We won't talk about Curse of Osiris anymore. And then less than a day later, like, actually, we're just going to cancel our stream this Wednesday. We'll just write up a blog post.
Holy crap.
So I think on Thursday or Wednesday, they came out with a little blog post about what the changes are going to happen. And of course, you know, it's PR PC talk. So it's all just going to be up in the air, right? Open to interpretation. They could come out with our lowest expectations and be like, oh, hey, we told you this was going to happen, you know? So it's kind of sad, man. Because I have I think I bought the deluxe edition. so I get the first and the second expansion packs. I don't even know if I'm gonna play it this Tuesday.
Didn't you're like, oh yeah, what was the trailer about? I was like, what?
Oh yeah, and Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't watched it, by the way.
But you know, they're having that Ghost, that limited edition Ghost where it's compatible with Alexa, and it looks and sounds cool.
Oh
It's
yeah.
supposed to be able to integrate with your game. So like you ask Alexa to ask your Ghost to, I don't know, equip your loadout, and it'll equip it inside game. Or, you know, there's supposed to be 1,000 lines of dialogue, and it's supposed to
What?
actually talk back to you, the Ghost. So I was like, dang, dude, should I get this and just like sell it later, or should I just get it and keep it?
Mhm.
But you know, like I really like Alexa to begin with, because, or the Amazon Echo.
Mhm.
I got the Dot, I think, but it's really good. Like it plays Spotify and all that, and it's very integrative. So it's like, that's pretty cool how Bungie is now having that Ghost toy interact with, you know, all of your electronics and your technology at home, and especially with in-game kind of stuff. You know, like equip your loadout, which sounds pretty cool, but I don't know if people are gonna still be playing,
that's gonna
so
be
I don't know.
enough. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, is that gonna be enough? I don't know.
So wait, the Ghost is its own Echo or its own Alexa thing, or do you have to have both Alexa and the
You
Ghost?
have to have both. So the Dot,
Ah.
I think is right now is like $29, and it's really good though. Like it controls basically everything in your home.
Mhm.
But you have to connect it with the Dot, or the Echo or whatnot, and you have to talk to Alexa to talk to your Ghost. And supposedly the Ghost is supposed to light up and respond with an actual voice, from the actor.
Wait, this is
telling you
out now, dude?
it's pre-ordered, and it's gonna be out
okay.
December 19th. So
Christmas time.
yeah, so I don't know. It's like, I think Anthony might buy it, but you know, definitely check that out. It
Yeah.
looks pretty cool, sounds pretty cool. I just don't know how well it's gonna be pretty cool if there's nobody playing online, kind of thing.
But does it only sync up with Destiny though? Like, can you turn on your PlayStation with that thing? Can you turn on your PlayStation with Alexa?
Yeah, I think you can. You just need an extra attachment, like a hub. So you might need like the Samsung hub or the Logitech one.
Mhm.
And then you can ask Alexa to like turn on your TV and turn on your PlayStation. Right now, the Bose gave me an option to control my PlayStation, so I can control everything with just one remote, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like I connected it, and I'm like controlling the speaker, the TV, and the Fire TV. I'm like, wow, I didn't even do anything. All I did was just press the power button, and everything synced up. So
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if Sony does that anymore. PlayStation 4 does that anymore, because there was a time when I had my PlayStation 3, I had my Sony Bravia. In fact, I still have my Sony Bravia. RIP Sony television division. And I had the Sony soundbar too. And all I would have to do is turn on my PlayStation 3. The TV would turn on, it would go to HDMI 2, and then my speakers would turn on. Like, all this stuff was connected through HDMI and stuff. So I don't know if PlayStation 4 does it, now that I'm thinking about it.
It does.
Mhm.
It's called AnyNet or whatever. I think there's different terms for each TV,
Mhm.
but the TV has to be compatible with being able to do that.
So
And
it
you
might
have
be
to
under
turn it on. Yeah.
it might be under a
Smart
different
TV.
system. Yeah.
Yeah, and all that. So fortunately, like when I do it with my TV here with the Samsung, like everything turns on when I just turn on my PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
you know, Alexa goes further, and you know, you just voice command everything, but it's kind of tricky. You always have to keep repeating some stuff it doesn't catch. You know, like
Come on, dude.
today I was like, say, Alexa, play like Backstreet Boys or something like that. And I forgot I was playing like country music. So
Oh, look, she's talking to you right now.
yeah, she's talking to me right now.
Yeah, dude, do not get too lazy where you get lazy to say something to Alexa, man. I was just saying right now how I was thinking about, man, how lazy am I that it takes me 2 seconds to pick up and turn on my TV with a remote, that I'm like complaining about it. Like, man, my PlayStation 3 used to turn on my TV. My PlayStation 4 can't do shit now.
Yeah, that's how like lazy I am. Oh crap! I have to turn off my Alexa. Alexa, stop. It was playing Backstreet Boys. Shit.
Are you serious, dude?
Yeah, because I have Spotify, so you can just like look up any song. Which
That's
is pretty
hilarious, bro. Dude, that's just like during Thanksgiving. My cousin set timers on Alexa. So the whole time they're like, Alexa, how much time for the turkey? You have 5 minutes. Alexa, add 5 minutes. Okay. I will add 5 minutes. Fucking voice command shit, dude.
It's awesome,
crazy.
dude. Like, you know, just gonna be laying down and doing nothing, and you're just gonna be talking to yourself the entire time.
For
so
real, man.
it's
Dude,
pretty cool.
This just came into my head right now. We were talking about it earlier. I'm gonna make a website called Brent Beat Rick in Pokemon in 5th grade. I'm gonna make that website. Patent pending. And then watch. You're gonna come to my house one day and I'll be like, Alexa, who beat who in 5th grade in Pokemon? Alexa's gonna do a Google search. The results I found was Brent beat Rick in Pokemon in the 5th grade.
Or it's gonna be the results have been omitted because it's illegal.
That would be so troll. That'd be A-level effort troll, man. That would be so amazing, bro. Damn, that'd be so funny if we did that. Yeah, as we were talking about too, this weekend is PSX, man.
Yes,
fucking
almost
here
there.
already.
What did you like about it? What games did you play this year for it?
No. We're not talking about being at PSX. That's gonna be next week. Next week, we're actually gonna be podcasting.
No.
PSX.
PSX already passed.
No, dude, it didn't. This is coming out on Monday. Rick. Okay, they're called ginkgo pills, man. We might really have to invest in these for you, dude.
What dimension am I in from?
Rick's like time traveling over here. But PSX is in 4 days, dude. It's fucking coming. And fortunately, you're packed already. I need to get packed. It's a little rougher for me because I start a new job the day of PSX.
Yeah.
So I had to awkwardly tell them, oh, hey, I know it's my first day and all, but I requested a half day, so I would like my half day still.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. Yeah, thanks. So fortunately, we're still on. I'm still going to head up to Anaheim early that day. It's going to be great, dude. I can't wait, man. Now, I want to talk about the merch store, dude, because this actually will be the first thing we line up for because of how crazy the lines were last year. I actually just saw a blog post about it this week, and I think I just got excited for the merch store super hard. At first, it was for the games. I'm excited to play the games, see the press conference, but after reading about the merch that they're going to have this year, I got excited about that, man. What are you thinking about picking up?
Just basically any exclusive clothing. Last year, I wasn't able to pick up any exclusive clothing, just like a hat, And then I think last year they had that jacket, the Letterman jacket for PlayStation. And I remember when Alan like wore it, like he was just getting compliments left and right, and I was like, oh my god, that is fucking sick. But hopefully this year they're gonna have. They said it was gonna be 50% more stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then I guess that'll help the line. But if that's the case, if they're gonna have double the floor, then that means there's just gonna be double the people. So I hope that's not the case. It's just, that line was the only longest line in the entire lines of last year.
It really was, yeah.
It's like we had to wait like an hour after we lined up early just to get into that line, and then wait an hour to get into that store.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but yeah, I'm definitely looking up to pick up like clothing. That gray shirt I saw that was like a California logo with the PlayStation. Maybe I'll start rocking some like odd colors like yellow and orange and all that. But I hope they're gonna reveal more of the PlayStation Store stuff. If not, we'll just see it there. And I'm gonna end up spending all of my money there. I know it.
Yeah, no, that's for sure, man. I mean, in that article that we were reading describing what they were going to come out with, I think there was you can buy a replica God of War axe from the new God of War game. They have exclusive Funko Pops and PlayStation blankets, PlayStation bags, just everything, dude. What caught my eye was they're going to do a collaboration with Bathing Ape, which is this fashion designer that started out, I think, in Japan, and they just do like camo everything, and they have really cool designs on all their stuff. So that's why I'm more excited, because I want to line up and see what they got going on. Because Bathing Ape will do that. They'll do collabs with, I think they did one recently with Dragon Ball Z, and they had this hoodie with Goku on it, and it just looked fucking awesome, dude. So I just can't wait to see what they push out for Sony. They're gonna have like camo,
Drake or Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, dude, all camoed out with fucking Bathing Apes all over the place. It's gonna be sick, dude. So sick. I didn't buy a Switch this weekend because I want to save my money for the merch store. I got a bonus at work, and I was really planning on buying a Switch this weekend, today actually. But after reading that article about the merch that could potentially be on sale, I was like, you know what? Let me use this $300 for merch, dude. Because last year I didn't buy much. I just bought the Parappa the Rapper beanie, the one that Parappa wears in the game. Yeah, I couldn't pass that up. And I think I wanted to pick up a shirt too, but I didn't end up getting one. So this year for sure, we're gonna go in, man. We got to be the first in line for that shit.
I know I'm going to be spending all my money on one day before the day ends.
Because everything else we're going to get is free, and we just have to spend money on food. You know what I'm saying?
What if, like, one of those free things was get 20% off of the gear store?
Oh, fuck. Don't tell me that, dude. We go to the
you got to play, like, 30 games in order to get 20% off your entire purchase. Then it's like, oh crap,
geez, bro, that would fucking suck, dude. You have to line up like at the last minute again and be like, oh hey, I have this 20% off. Can I put it towards what I paid for earlier? Like, fuck no, get the fuck out of here. So also in this blog post, they outlined that they're gonna bring back the mobile app, which is what we used last year to track our trophies and stuff like that.
I mean, yay.
Well, yay for that. But what they're also going to do is they're going to give you the ability to book appointments or book time slots to play game demos.
Boo for that one. Boo.
Boo for that one for sure.
Shame on that. Shame. Shame.
Ding, 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 ding. Shame.
Shame. I don't know why. It's like they didn't learn their lesson from E3. They just want to keep using that kind of feature.
Dude, I don't know. Because, this is what they used at E3. What demos did they have? They had Destiny 2, Uncharted, and maybe Gran Turismo. They had a few demos at E3 this year. And the way you got into those demos is by going into the app and using the system, checking in or reserving your time slot, kind of like a fast pass at Disneyland. You know what I mean? So you would choose your spot, and then you would still have to show up to the booth and line up with all the other people that chose that spot. I think they had maybe 30 open spots every half hour or something like that.
18. They had 18.
It was 18? Well, shit, it was even less than
that horrible number.
Yeah. So then it works kind of well in theory, right? You're thinking to yourself, oh, that's cool. Then you could just, when you're going to go and play that game, right? Not if the network is getting flooded by hella people trying to get in on the same demo, dude. It was crazy, man.
If you have 200 people, trying to reserve at the same time just for that one particular spot, then it's like, dude, you're out of luck, because they reserve that shit less than a second, and the app usually froze or just like crashed a lot. So those are really difficult to just even press that reserve button, because it would like time out or freeze and lock, and I was like, man, I thought that was like a cool feature and all, but it's just like being able to play the games you really want. You have to reserve it. And so like versus like last year, even though like things were like full, for example, like the Capcom Cup, was like kind of full, people are still jumping in line or still getting in and just standing about, even though they're telling everybody it was full. But then now it's just like you have to reserve your stuff in order to be able to either play games or maybe just sign up for the signatures. It's like that's part of your platinum trophy stuff or the rewards you have to earn. You have to get a signature and attend the cup, and now that they're gonna limit it to maybe one slot, it's like fuck.
Yeah, that's true, man. Because on top of that, you couldn't even just line up. You know what I mean? It's not like, okay, if you reserve a time slot, maybe you have a leg up on everybody. But it's you either reserved a time slot or nothing at all. You couldn't just show up to the booth and start a line anywhere because there was just no place for it, right? And I think that's my fear for the demos this year, that it's all just going to be on the app, at least for the main titles. And then everything else we're going to end up lining up for, like, I don't know, simple indie games are the ones that we actually have to line up for in person, and then all the rest of them are just check-in. That's my biggest fear, man, that we won't be able to check in anything, because we tried, right? We were trying to play everything, Destiny 2, whatever other demos they had. We thought we had
demos.
Yeah, we thought we had a system where, okay, at least I thought I had a system where, okay, once the time slot, or once, I think everything opened up at 1:30. Like once 1:30 hit, then you can open the app and click on anything to reserve your spot. Of course, everybody's on the app at 1:30 clicking, so it bogged down the whole thing. But I thought I was going to be slick, right? I thought, okay, I'm going to pick the last time slot because everybody wants to just see the first one and click the first one to reserve their spot. I'm going to pick the last one because nobody's looking at that, right? And then I thought to my head, well, maybe the last one's second to last. Nobody's clicking the second to last one, right? So I go through the app and I'm ready. 1:30, it's pink. And I'm clicking the second to last time slot. Nothing's happening, dude. The app is frozen and it freezes. I have to close it, open it again, and I open it up and it says everything's full already within the span of like 3 minutes. It's horrible.
Everybody read your mind.
I think everybody was doing this too, right? I mean, we had 8 people with us all on the app trying to get a time slot, and I think out of all of us, only Russ got in to the Destiny 2 one.
Exactly. And then too, it's like, people that already played the game, are they going to be able to reserve again for a second slot?
Yeah.
So, that's just going to reduce the chances. It's like everybody that we are going to go with, we all have to reserve the exact same time slot versus where, oh yeah, let's all just play this video game. Let's line up to play this game, like Valkyrie, Valkyrie, where we just got in line and we all were playing together. But now we all have to reserve something. I hope that's not the case.
Same here, man. Same here. That being said, I'm still excited, man. I mean, this from past experiences, this puts a little damper on what could happen, but I'm excited just to be around so many other fans of PlayStation like I am, dude. I think it'll be good times. It's always good vibes, dude, at things like these. So
exactly, be a good time overall. Especially the people that are gonna be going after Comic-Con tickets those days too.
How unfortunate is that? How unfortunate is it that open Comic-Con registration is next Saturday too at 9 a.m. in the morning?
When shit.
PSX starts at 10, dude. So anybody that didn't get a Comic-Con ticket the first time around and is going to PSX, RIP, man. You might be in line on your phone, dude. You might have to bring a laptop. That's fucking rough, dude.
Yeah.
But 4 days, it's coming soon, man. I can't wait, bro. I can't believe it's
4 days.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Well, no.
Monday,
4 days from when this drops on Monday.
Oh,
so
that's right.
4 days.
Still far.
No, it's not. It's gonna fly by so quick. Well, I know it's gonna fly by for me because I'm dreading having to show up to my new job. So these last 4 days of my current job are just gonna fly by, dude. I'm gonna be so busy doing so much work, man.
Do you have to go through like orientation, or aren't you like already with the company?
No, I think I'll just be doing training on like the first day. So probably the first day I'll be sitting there setting up my desk. And that's about it, dude. And then PSX, here I come, dude. So enough about games that we'll be playing here in the future. What games are you currently playing this week, man?
Starbound. Reaching for the stars. I think we talked about this in the previous ones, but I don't know. I've been really addicted with Starbound. It's just similar to like Terraria, but even though they're separate games, people have a hard time differentiating the two games. They always compare them with each other and be like, oh no, this one's better and this one's better. But they all have the same essential features, and it's just the mechanics behind it, the gameplay of being able to explore, build, and fight things, and discovery. I think that's one of the main thing that got us hooked. But so far, the one that got me hooked is building. So I spent, I think, almost the entire day yesterday, Friday, just building, I think, a utopia. So, I learned that, you can have a colony of people and all that. So I was like, okay, I got to make my people all have a good time. So what I did was I was building my utopia, and I learned that you can start capturing little critters all over the galaxy.
What?
So yeah,
like
with that
Pokemon
relocator gun. And
okay.
you can do that too with that Pokemon. You can play Pokemon if you're into that, and collect all of the different monsters in different areas. You got to weaken it, of course, and use your Pokeball. But these Pokeballs are really expensive. But once you're able to capture these Pokemon, they can fight with you. But the other one I was talking about is a relocator gun, which there's some things you can't catch, but you wish you had, like a little tiny turtle. I caught a bunch of those, and I started building an aquarium. And then soon enough, I had a giant aquarium that's like overshadowing the entire colony. So my goal currently is to finish that aquarium, and then to build a castle in the sky like Sword Art Online. Maybe have like 100 floors or something like that.
Jeez, dude.
But I have so much ADD. I was building that, and I was like, oh, you know what, this would look good in my ship. So I spent a good portion just reorganizing my entire ship. Especially today, I just spent all day just reorganizing things, putting things, and I'm like, you know what, I don't like it. So I broke down the entire ship, and I just rebuilt, and I was like, man, I just spent so much time just doing that. And the only thing I still think that kind of sucks is you have to eat in the game. So, you always get focused, and you're always just like, you always have that, I don't know, mentality of horse blinders of whatever you got to do that. But then you always forget, you got to eat to survive. So basically you got to find food, craft food, and all that, and then feed your character. And then soon enough, when you're like so focused on building whatever you're doing, you're like, oh shit, I gotta eat in real life too. So it became a chore to either eat in the game or eat in real life. It's like, dude, I put my pizza cooker on, I was cooking some pizza, and then I like totally forgot about it, and an hour later it was like all burnt and everything.
Oh no, dude.
Oh, but yeah, that game is amazing. It's really fun. I don't think we've really touched on the story too much, like you always have those games that say, oh yeah, you got to do this. And then here me and you are like, nope, we're not going to do any of that.
I know, man. That's the curse of any open world game, is they give you a mission. I think the worst one for me was Oblivion. When I played Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, the first mission was to go to this town and talk to somebody. Shit, I turned left, found the cave, explored the cave, found out some ghosts were cursing the cave, so I had to beat the ghosts. Left the cave, and this guy was getting jumped, so I helped the guy, and he wanted me to help him take him to his town, so I took him to his town, and so much other shit happened. I joined an assassination guild. After I joined the assassination guild, I had to travel the whole world assassinating people. So then by the time it's been like a week since I started this game, and the game starts, you escape from jail, right? So then I finally go, oh, hey, I should play the story. So I go to the first mission. He's like, oh, wow, I can't believe you just escaped prison. And I'm like, bitch, I'm a master assassin, wizard, archer, invisibility person. Who are you talking to?
I built that prison, motherfucker.
I'm the president of this town already. I'm just starting the first mission, dude. Curse of open world games, man. There's just too many possibilities, which is what this game has, man. Just too many possibilities, bro. Like you said, you're building a zoo in your utopia, bro.
Yep.
That's so crazy, man.
I am the collector.
And funny enough, I saw something similar to that. There was this, I guess, like a lab with all the monkey people in it in the game. And when I got there, they started attacking me. So of course I'm going through there, just killing everybody. And I take this elevator to go to the top. And as I'm going up the elevator, they have all of these enclosures with animals in it, you know?
Oh, shit.
And you know, there's a tool in the game where you can look at the wiring and see how everything's wired. And there's one button that opens the door to all of the cages, dude.
Did you press that button?
I pressed the button. So instead of fighting me, all the people in the lab were fighting the monsters and shit, and they were getting murdered. It was crazy,
Damn.
dude. It was so funny. And then I got to the top, and this guy has like this regal bedroom up there, and he has shotguns, and he throws a bunch of Pokemon at me, and I'm just blowing stuff up, dude. Oh, this game is so great, man. But yeah,
And we still haven't continued the first couple missions.
shit, dude. I know. It's so bad, bro. It's so bad. What else have you been playing? Just Starbound, man?
Yeah, just been so addicted, man. I didn't go to bed till like 3:30 in the morning, just rebuilding, reorganizing my ship. And
Shit.
I gotta make sure that stuff is ready because I'm trying to build it like after the image of like Space Pirate Yamato. If you want to watch that anime, it's amazing.
You know what? I think I've heard of that shit. What, dude? How many hours have you put into the game?
Dude, let me actually have a look because last time I looked, it said something like 80 hours.
Dude, I think I'm there. I think I'm reaching 100, man.
Wow, yeah. Oh, dude, oh no, that's Terraria. Dude,
Uh-oh.
I played 203 hours on that thing.
Holy shit.
108 hours on Starbound. How
Holy
many hours
shit,
did you do?
dude. All right, wait. Now I have to look at mine and see. Hold on. Library. 86 hours, bro. Holy
shit.
When did we get this game? A week ago? Oh my god, dude. I'm playing this game like it's my fucking job. Holy shit.
We should get fucking paid for this shit.
That's
man.
crazy, bro. But no, the game is that much fun. Like I said, the possibilities are just endless in that game. Yeah, I played last night after I got home from a night out, and I just reorganized my ship, dude. Oh no, that was Thursday. Yeah, that was Thursday. I reorganized my ship. It was 3 hours of me. If you asked me what I did that night, I said, "Oh, I was just playing video games." When in reality, for 3 hours, I was decorating, putting up wallpaper, and figuring out the feng shui of my ship. Putting radios and clocks so I know what time it is in my ship, no matter where I go, and organizing my lockers so my inventory's I know where to find everything and shit like that.
Yeah.
Legit took me 3 hours, and the only reason it took me 3 hours is because I had so much stuff to move around. I had so much space to decorate, dude. And I feel you on the getting hungry part, because I think I was moving stuff around and it was getting a little bit tedious, so I put on some music, right? Just to, fill my mind, something to distract my mind. And all of a sudden I teleport and I go, that's weird. I didn't choose to teleport. What's going on? And I see the game over screen or the you died screen. I go, wait, what? And it turns out I'd starved to death, dude, decorating my fucking ship. Because there's usually a sound. It beeps. It goes like, doo-doo.
Yeah, like, dude. I'm like, oh, that's cool music.
But yeah, it was drowned out by the music I was listening to, man. So R.I.P. But the death penalty isn't too bad. I think they just take a little bit of money from you and that's it. And we have all the money in the game. It's crazy. But yeah, what else have I been doing in that game? I bought a boat.
Oh, how is it?
It's pretty sick, man. It's just,
damn.
So of course I'm on this boat traveling across the water and I'm getting attacked by birds and stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, I could just outrun the birds, so I'm fine. The only thing is, you have to put your boat back into a pod so you can carry it on land to the next body of water. And where you have to click on the boat to put it back in the pod is super finicky or super specific. So I'm sitting there for like 5 minutes trying to click this thing, trying to get it back in the pod. And this whole time, birds are attacking me. I mean, as I was on the water, there must have been 5 birds chasing me. So now there's 5 birds attacking me, and I'm like almost dying, you know? So I panic, and I jump in the water, and I take out my magic wand that shoots lightning energy and stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of sinking down in the water, and the birds are following me. And by the time I shoot my lightning at them, the birds are around where my boat is. So it explodes, boom, everything dies, and my ship starts sinking. And I'm like, what the fuck? No way, dude. And as it's sinking, it passes by me, and I try to put it back in the pod, and I do, and I grab it back in the pod, and I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't lose my boat. So I reach the next body of water with it. I put my boat out, and it immediately starts sinking. It's fucking horrible, dude. It's so horrible. So I have to take it back and get it repaired. Which scares me even more, the fact that maybe if I don't grab my ship there, maybe if it completely blows up, I lose it forever, dude.
I know. That's you probably do.
Bullshit. And it costs so much money, bro. That's so bad. I also have a hover bike in this game. And I was driving it around doing insane jumps and stuff like that. And I was showing it to Rick, and I was like, oh yeah, Rick, check out my hovercraft. And then I jump in, but it's not driving anywhere. I was like, what the fuck, man? How come I can't drive it? And I get back in, and I'm driving it. Turns out there's a back seat to this thing. So Rick jumps in, man. We're driving everywhere, crashing into rocks, running over monsters and everything like that. Dude, there's just, the possibilities are endless in this game, dude. It's so crazy.
Dude, I was like looking at my screenshots that you normally save, and my very first screenshot is of us looking at the moon, and we're like, you're in your astronaut suit, and I'm in my like pajamas with my cape, and I'm like, damn, dude, it started from there. And look at us now. We're dude. Like with samurai armor with like lightsaber katanas
and rocket launchers and magic wands.
Yep, I gotta show you that picture.
The first
like,
one.
Damn.
Yeah, yep. That was just a week ago too. Look at us now, bro. So crazy, man. But yeah, right now I'm working on a feudal Japanese temple. It's huge, man. It's like 4 stories. There's gonna be a garden on the roof, and then I'm gonna build an elevator that goes down because it's on an island. So the elevator is gonna go down through the island into the water. I'm just gonna have like a big aquarium down there.
Atlantis.
It's gonna be crazy, dude. I can't wait. It's gonna take me like 3 weeks to build it, but fuck it, dude.
That's if you get your Switch.
That's true too. Damn, dude. Also this week played a little bit of Left 4 Dead 2 with Rick and Dustin, man. And we were getting annihilated on the last mission. There's just so much going on, man, where we were all dying and stuff. And the last attempt we made at it, we all died, and Rick was making it through. And we were watching Rick just make it through the last part of this level.
Oh, I was limping.
And limping through the last part of this level. And as he reaches this one part, you see Dustin and I's outlines pop up on the screen, meaning that there's a closet coming up soon, and if Rick opens the closet, we respawn back in the game. So we got excited.
10 feet away.
This is the furthest we've made in this level. Rick can revive us. We'll have green health. We'll be fucking good to go, man. We'll be good to go. 2 seconds later, a jockey pops up, and I think all of us at the same time shout out, "Rick, look out! There's a jockey!" And he's like, "What?" And he turns around. The jockey jumps on his head, and the screen fades to black, and it pops up again. We're back in the safe room. And that's all she wrote for that night, bro. Oh, man. But that's really the last campaign we have to beat. I think it's called The Sacrifice. So
yeah,
that's the last one we have to beat. Hopefully we get through it soon so we can move on to other games, other multiplayer games. I also played a little bit of Overwatch on PC with Dustin, man.
Oh, nice.
It was on sale on Black Friday for $20. So I think while we were waiting for Rick to play Left 4 Dead 2, Dustin and I ran in a couple of games of Overwatch, and I don't know what it is, dude. I think it's because Dustin's only level 4 in the game. So when we jumped in this game, we were like shitting on people. It was so funny, dude. I was Roadhog, just getting all my hooks down, and I think Dustin was playing Orisa, throwing his shield down and, you know, covering me and everything like that. And I think the second game I played Reaper and just low-key got a play of the game off of like a 4-person kill. Using my flurry and stuff like that. I don't know what it was.
Left 4 Dead skills.
It might be the Left 4 Dead aim. It might be the Left 4 Dead aim, or the fact that we were playing a bunch of noobs too. The fact that Dustin was playing Overwatch and said, "Oh man, I need my controller," like hurt my heart a little bit. He was gonna play a PC game and go, "Oh, I missed my controller." What? Put yourself at a huge disadvantage, man. But that's fun. Being as I played Roadhog a lot, they changed him a lot, dude. He might be super buff now. Because now
he can't one-shot people a lot, right?
He can't one-shot people, but they added an extra shot to his gun, so he has 5 shots instead of 4. And it felt like the cooldown for the hook was a lot shorter. And when you use your self-heal now, you can move, and you get plus 50% armor. So if you're getting shot while you're healing, it does less damage. That, and I can run around a corner while I'm healing. It's kind of OP now.
Jeez.
So, yeah, man. I mean, I've always done shot, hook, shoot, so that's never a biggie. I can always get a kill with that combo if I land the whole thing. Or, you know, hook, shoot, and then melee. But yeah, he just feels a lot faster, a lot stronger. So I don't know what it is. I think people complain too much after, you know, if you break line of sight or something, the hook breaks or something like that. So it's wild, man. He just feels so much more powerful. So hopefully we get more of that soon. Just bullshitting on that game with level 4, maybe level 5 now, Dustin. But yeah, so this week we're gonna talk about video game mysteries and myths. I think these have existed as long as video games have existed, right? There's always rumors and shit about what you can find in video games and things like that. So we'll go over a few today, a few that pique our interests a little bit. And the first big one we'll talk about is the Mount Chiliad mystery. Now this one's in Grand Theft Auto 5, where on Mount Chiliad there's a mural of a UFO and a bunch of lines. It kind of looks like a map that lead to an egg, another UFO, and someone, a stick figure that looks like they're wearing a jetpack. So of course in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the PS2, the jetpack was the greatest thing in the world. You know, that world seemed huge at the time, and you put on that jetpack, you could fly anywhere in 2 seconds, right? You could do drive-bys from the jetpack, just fly everywhere, dude. It was the greatest thing in the game. You just wear that all day, right? And the fact that there's aliens and shit too, it kind of got everybody interested in what mysteries were held behind this mural, dude. Do you remember seeing a lot of investigations and things on this?
I don't remember with my old man syndrome currently, no. But was this in the campaign for Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah, it was in the open. It was kind of like a side thing, a little Easter egg that people saw to do. Like I said, it was a mural, and people just tried to find the meaning behind it, ultimately thinking they would find the jetpack, right?
Yeah.
But what it led people to was a bunch of UFOs that would just kind of float there and not do anything, right? And I think ultimately what was found is that they were all just Easter eggs in the game. I think the UFOs have like FBI or something written on them, so it's like some conspiracy theory stuff.
Wow.
How it's all fake and all that stuff. But I think, yeah, there's 2 that you can find flying in the air. One's just floating on top of a mountain, one's floating on top of the military base, and then there's one that's crash landed in the ocean or something like that. So people were able to find out all of this by using that map. Yeah, unfortunately there was no jetpack, but the mystery continues, man. Knowing Rockstar.
Unfortunately, there is no jetpack.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, nobody found the jetpack. But knowing Rockstar, anything's possible, as we'll see later here. The next one we'll talk about is Reptile in Mortal Kombat. Now this one was crazy. I remember this because I played Mortal Kombat a lot as a kid, just at my grandma's house, having Mortal Kombat tournaments with my cousins and stuff like that. And I think we were in a Blockbuster or something. That's how old this shit is. And we opened up a video game magazine, and there's a picture of Johnny Cage fighting Scorpion or Sub-Zero, but he was green. And we were tripping like, what the fuck? Why is he green? Turns out it's a completely different character. So I guess the rumors just started from there on how you can unlock Reptile in the first Mortal Kombat. Turns out you really couldn't unlock him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, in
was
the
that
first...
in number 2 or is it just one?
No, the very first one. Yeah, the one that we were playing on Sega Genesis. I guess you can fight him if you beat the arcade mode perfectly twice and finish each fight with a perfect and fatality or something like that.
Jeez.
And if there's one stage where you're on a bridge, right? And if there's someone floating by the moon and you fatality someone, that's when you unlock Reptile. I don't know, man. It was super elaborate how they hid this guy, and which has become the norm now that I'm thinking about it with these characters in fighting games, is you have to do something super crazy, like Oni in Street Fighter 4. You have to do crazy stuff to unlock him. But yeah, for Reptile, man, you just have to go through all these hoops just to fight him, and that's all you could do is fight him. Even if you beat him after doing all this shit, you couldn't select him on the character select screen. And it turns out the creators of the game were just playing around with the colors, trying to make a cooler Sub-Zero or a cooler Scorpion. They made him green. Did you play Mortal Kombat a lot as a kid?
I think I did. It was mostly in the arcade, but it was I always played Mario kind of games and all that. Yeah, Street Fighter too.
Yeah. So that one was always stuck with me, just because we never unlocked him. I mean, I think we always made the tries, but of course, finishing the game perfectly is fucking hard to do in Mortal Kombat. You always get hit at least once in that game. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy too how he did get added later on into the games. He was even in the movie. Reptile was in the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh. Mortal Kombat!
I was waiting for it, dude. I knew you were going to do that. Because that's what popped in my head too, as soon as I said Mortal Kombat. So that's one that's cool, and that's one that really just ages us, right? Because how the hell did we really find out about this stuff? Not by Googling it on the internet, but
there was no internet. We're so
by
young.
Word of mouth and looking at a magazine in a Blockbuster, dude. That's how old that shit is, man. Two of those things don't exist anymore. Blockbusters and video game printed magazines, dude.
Damn, but we exist.
Yeah, man. That's so crazy. Next myth or mystery is the 6th chest in Vaulted Glass, man. Now, Vaulted Glass was the first raid in Destiny 1, and it was just a magical experience, wasn't it, man?
It was. I don't know how many hours we were on that, but we were on it for like a year in all of our lives.
Yeah, man. And we did, especially since it was Destiny's first raid, and it took a long time for the second raid to come out. We did any and everything in the Vaulted Glass, man. We got Flawless Raider on it. We took all the shortcuts and everything like that. And besides getting loot after completing different phases of the raid, there were these bonus chests where you got Ascendant Shards, or what were the other ones called? Ascendant Energy? Something like that. Anyways, you would use these items to level up your armor or your weapons, right? And there were 5 of them that people knew about, and some of them had some tricky steps on how to unlock them. I think one, you couldn't let the Templar teleport. If he teleported, then that chest just wouldn't appear, right? So there were 5 that people could consistently get every time they did the raid, but there was always like that mystery of the 6th chest inside the Vaulted Glass, and nobody knew how to find it. I don't think we ever really looked for it, did we?
Yeah, I think we were trying different ways to see if it unlocked. I forgot what we were doing though
Yeah.
exactly.
So what it has to do with is during the jumping puzzle, which how the first jumping puzzle in Destiny with the platforms just appear and disappear, dude. How many times have we watched people struggle on that, dude? And the worst part is where you're walking on that ledge and there's just a little crack in the ledge where you have to jump.
Oh, that one usually gets me.
But at the same time, there's like a ceiling. So if you jump, you hit your head and just go straight down, dude. That one was always the greatest, watching people do that for the first time. But so in that, during the jumping puzzle, in the back of that room, there's a teleporter that you can make it to, like a Vex teleporter you can make it to. And any theory revolving around a sixth chest involved that. You know, I mean, you could finagle your way by jumping over to it. And I think there were things like, oh yeah, if you use the Vex Mythoclast and line up the sights with the portal a certain way, then it'll open up. Or if you get there without dying, then you'll open it up. Or if you get there without anybody sacrificing themselves to the conflux, that gate will open up or some shit like that, dude. Or if you get there without getting seen by the Gorgons, it'll open up. Just any and everything was out there on the internet, right? But there was no sixth chest ever found. That gate never opened for anybody, right? So I think that's where we gave up on it too. A lot of it, we didn't really do too much research ourselves. We tried it a couple times and then just waiting for the internet to figure it out. And I think this is something that Destiny or Bungie just kept perpetuating. They always told us, oh, you guys haven't found everything in the Vault of Glass, right? Like them just continuously saying that just fed the minds of all the Destiny myth hunters out there. The cool thing is later, though, they did open it up in a mission called Paradox, which was part of these daily missions that you could do on a harder difficulty. And the first one that ever came out like Paradox was, oh man, what was that mission called? Lost to Light, where we got Black Spindle from?
Yeah, something like that.
Lost to Light. Where you could finish Lost to Light a specific way, and that's how you do the mission. Or you can turn right and go through this open door and run through this part of the mission, which is attached to a strike. And at the end of it is a super hard boss that you have to beat in, what was it, like 10 minutes or something like
10
that?
10 minutes.
And if you beat him, then you got an exotic sniper rifle. And man, when that first came out, how crazy was it trying to finish that, dude? Because we were underpowered and just getting annihilated by all the Taken,
dude. Yeah, I think when we first finished it, we had like, I think only like 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
On our timer, so it was just so crazy. And I think it was just who did we do it? It was me, you, and Anthony, I believe.
Yeah.
When we first attempted it, and then, but it took us like, I don't know, infinite amount of tries, and I forgot, we were just strategically planning everything, throwing grenades ahead while we're running.
It was the hardest we worked in Destiny since the raids, I think.
Yeah, I think that was hardest, man.
And I remember, helping people through it too, and farming it, trying to get the ship, because I was a collector in Destiny and wanted to get every ship and shit, man. But the other mission called Paradox, in, I forgot what expansion that was in, maybe one of the last expansions, you revisit the Vault of Glass during a regular mission, and you go through this storyline about the first raiders that went into the Vault of Glass, Praedyth and the rest of his fire team. Now there's one way to go through the mission where you fight the Taken and you beat this Taken Hydra and then see the skeleton, pray the skeleton, and that's the end of the mission. Or you can go through the shortcuts that people navigated out in the Vaults of Glass and open up that portal finally that everybody was trying to open up. And I think you opened it up by finding all of these dead ghosts hidden throughout the missions. And once you open up that portal, you get teleported over to Green, I think it is. If you're doing the last part, if you're doing Atheon and you get teleported. What is it? Red and green. Red is Mars and green is whatever. So you have to open up that side of the portal. You get teleported to Green and you fight this giant Taken enemy in there. And then once you kill him, you get an alternate ending for the mission, and then you unlock the mission for No Time to Explain. Yeah, that pulse rifle that nobody ever used after getting it. But how crazy is that all of these myth hunters and all of these secret seekers, they got justification, I think, or their dues paid to them in the end by Bungie, right? All these things we were trying to do opening this portal, they finally just opened it up for us and attached a sweet exotic behind it. So I thought that was really, really cool. And how that feeling isn't captured in Destiny 2, I have no idea, bro.
I know, I was thinking, I was like, what was really the difference? What hooked us on Destiny 1 that didn't really hook us on Destiny 2? And I think I was watching a couple videos of like what it was missing and what they took away versus what, you know, what they had and improved on in Destiny 2. Like, for example, they improved the story, and that was supposed to lure us in and all that, but they took away things like how we're supposed to grind for things, and everything was more made for the casual players. And I was like, man, Destiny 1, that's why we had those people looking for the lore, looking for the secrets behind these things, the extra chests, because they wanted to know more about the universe. And, you know, like you were saying, the fire team and the Volta Glass and all that. But, you know, I think in Destiny 2, we're not like really looking for those things. We're just kind of being guided through the story.
Yeah, I feel that too. That, and it's, I think at the end of Destiny 1's life cycle, we had something that was good, right? We had this huge world that was fleshed out for us and a way of playing it that was to our liking. That was the culmination of just 2-3 years of feedback and changes brought to the game, right? It turned out to be not perfect, but a lot better than what the original Destiny 1 was. Exactly. And then to completely wipe out that system and try to start something new, go through all those growing pains again. I think people are getting fatigued by that too. So it's wild, man. It's wild. I have no idea either how Destiny 2 just dropped the ball so hard. But who knows, man. Again, conversation for another day. RIP Destiny 2 already. Barely lasted a year.
I know. Didn't it release like a couple months ago? Holy crap.
It really did, yeah, man. In like September, I think. Holy shit.
Dude, tomorrow they're going to release Final Fantasy VII.
Fuck out of here, man. I'm not holding my breath for that.
We're going to be 50. We're going to be 50.
Don't get my hopes up. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. They finally have it. A new trailer.
Next one we'll talk about is this one that I guess filled my head up as a kid, but naked Lara Croft in Tomb Raider 2, dude.
What? What is this?
I think just like Reptile in Mortal Kombat, there was an article. I think I might have the magazine still, PlayStation Magazine, PSM. They had an article about how you can unlock a naked Lara Croft in Tomb Raider 2. And of course, I mean, you can't just print that in a magazine, and it's not like there was really anywhere you could search on the internet for that kind of thing back in the day. I don't think the modding community was that huge. But it all turned out to be false. I think it originated with some designers in the game who were trying to make bonus costumes, and they were trying to make a cheetah print costume for Lara Croft. And of course, the way the cheetah print looks on PlayStation 1 graphics, it looks like she's naked.
Polygons.
Yeah. Triangle boobs and stuff like that. So I think maybe the model was in the game assets, but no one was really ever able to unlock it. There wasn't a password that just lets you play as naked Lara Croft in the game or anything like that. Again, crazy how we've gone from talking about things in person to people after reading about it on a magazine to going on internet forums and grouping up with the community and figuring out different puzzles here and there. Again, those were some of the most exciting times in Destiny, dude, when people were trying to figure out what to do, how to get the Black Spindle, and the same thing with Paradox and getting the No Time to Explain, or the, what was the other one? The big laser gun. the sleeper stimulant.
Stimulant?
Yeah. Getting that gun in Destiny, dude. I mean, those I think were the highlights of the community for sure. It's kind of weird how that's evolved like that. Next one is the Sasquatch, man. I guess in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is where it really started, right? There's these rumors or same thing, I think, in a video game magazine, dude, of pictures of, Sasquatch running around in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on the PS2. Yeah, because this was PS2 era. Pictures just floating around out there of a Sasquatch running around and people desperately trying to hunt for it, I think when it was all said and done, the developers actually did put a Sasquatch in the game, but said there's like a 5% chance you'll find it. They use it as a test for the Q&A for the play testers, see if, because they just try to run the game through any kind of condition and things like that. So they used that as a test to see if any of the play testers could find the Sasquatch, which I don't think any of them did. So after all these years, I don't think any of us are going to be able to find it either, because there isn't any videos on how to find him. If anything, there's just a bunch of people that have modded the game. Shit, now you can play San Andreas on your iPhone, dude. It's kind of crazy.
Jeez, yeah.
So with the modding, what it is now, being it from the straight developer, I don't think is a real thing. The amazing thing about this is what started as rumors in San Andreas kind of grew to integrate itself into the normal games, right? In Red Dead Redemption, The Undead Nightmare, there's a whole side mission where you hunt the Sasquatch, right?
The Sasquatch, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was scary. I think he's friendly or something like that. But I panicked and I just immediately shot him or something.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I think there's 6 or 7 of them in Undead Nightmare. And then once you kill all of them, the last one, you talk to him and he's sad that he's the last one left of his kind, and you have a choice of leaving him or killing him. And of course I killed him. It's kind of somber and sad, but shit, dude. He would have killed me, bro. Those fights were crazy. And even more so, they brought it back in Grand Theft Auto 5, right? I think there's a mission where you're sniping with an infrared scope, and one of the figures you see in the infrared scope is in the shape of a Sasquatch. And this is in a mission pretty early on into the game, and then you do some of those random event side missions and you actually run into the Sasquatch, who turns out to be this dude that's dressed up as him.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
Yeah. And then later on, I think they added, you could, I think in the PS4 version, you could eat peyote and just go on these acid trips or fucking drug trips in Grand Theft Auto. And I think if you ate one, you turn into a dog. If you ate another one, you turned into a bird or something. It was crazy, man. They added a lot to this game. And then I think once you ate all of them, the last one you ate, you turn into the Sasquatch and you could just run around and jump like the Hulk. You had super jump and you could punch cars and shit like that. So it's amazing how that one started out as kind of one of these myths and worked itself into the actual game on release from developers. So I think that one was pretty cool. One that's more recent is this thing in Bloodborne. I was just reading about it last week, actually, which is why we're talking about it now. But I think at a press conference for before they released Bloodborne at PSX or E3 or something, it had a gameplay demo where the person was fighting this undead giant with a flaming axe or flaming hammer or something like that, and it was in what looked like and it was in a chalice dungeon, or what looked like a chalice dungeon. So people, I guess, immediately started looking for that, right? As soon as the game came out, they're like, oh man, I want to fight this guy from the demo. Well, nobody found it, or at least nobody recorded it once they found it until last week, which is 3 years almost after Bloodborne came out. That they found this guy. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, if anybody's played Bloodborne and the Chalice Dungeons, you'll know that they're just randomly generated. Every time you make it, you get something different every time. So the chances of getting this are kind of low. And the fact that someone found it after 3 years really said something about the random generator.
Was it
And
like
the
a
chalice one.
0.001% or something like
I have
that?
no idea, but the funny thing is, the dude made a YouTube video about it, and in the comments, everyone's like, "Oh man, I saw this 2 years ago. I didn't say anything. Like, you fucking idiot! Why didn't you say it? Why'd you put the pieces together? You know?"
Yeah.
We're just trying to ruin that guy's shine, but it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, you could say the whole game of Bloodborne is just a mystery and a myth in itself, right? Shit, you could say that for the Dark Souls games, right? Because all those are just kind of open up to your interpretation of the game and of the world. So, shout out to Bloodborne, man. Bloodborne 2, PSX. Let's make it happen, dude. That's just me dreaming.
We still haven't beat Lawrence.
Fuck, we haven't, dude. We gotta do that. We probably are gonna die at like the first phase over and over since we haven't played it in so long, dude.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I've been on Starbound for a while. I'll say, you know, I don't play games to get stressed, but Bloodborne is that game.
And Starbound, yeah. In Starbound, you're building, you're decorating, you're gardening,
Yep.
you're farming. You're this fucking space samurai that's going into a medieval fortress and murdering everybody, dude.
Yeah, dude, it makes me feel like Cowboy Bebop, you know, just going different worlds and fucking up everything. And starving.
It's the only thing that's holding you back.
Oh, shit.
The last one we'll talk about is something that Rick and I got in a heated debate on before we started recording this. Is finding Mew in Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, for that matter, and how different people caught him. So why don't you explain to us, Rick, how you caught Mew?
Okay, so speaking from my old man syndrome, I vaguely remember. The only thing I remember is catching him near Pallet Town, and you know, you were saying like, there's no way possible. It's not part of it. And I guess it wasn't near Pallet Town, or it might have been. So one, I might have caught it through a glitch. One of the glitches is using like an Abra to teleport, but it's not near Pallet Town. I think it's on Route 45 or 24 and 25. And like looking at it, it looks like I might have used this glitch to catch that Mew. Now, my old man syndrome is saying, no, you caught it this other way. So the other way was using the missing no way. And so I remember you go through the missing no way, but halfway you're supposed to not go to that island to surf up and down. You're supposed to go back to Pallet Town or something like that. And if you like go, I don't know, a couple feet into Pallet Town, into the grass, your first Pokemon you should see is like a level 2 Mew. But, you know, that's just my old man's syndrome talking right now.
So I'm calling bullshit on this because I don't think we caught it any of these ways, man. Because, well, for all intents and purposes, Mew is in the game. I think he's in the game file. So if I don't know if you Game Shark your game or anything like that, or if you get into the coding, there'll be Mew in there and a Pokédex entry for Mew as well. As far as catching it, that's a whole different story. I remember the first I ever heard of catching Mew is there's this truck by the St. Anne, the ship that you jump on to get, I think it's cut. I think if you beat everybody in the ship or if you beat the captain, you get cut. So you can cut down this bush to go to the next town. And if you use strength on this truck that's parked right next to the St. Anne, there'll be a Pokeball under it, and you pick it up, and that's supposed to be Mew, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's how I heard how to catch him. So I did this. I went through I restarted the game, went through the whole game, found someone to trade me a Pokemon with Cut, so I didn't have to get on the St. Anne to make it leave. Got through the rest of the game until I got strength. And then I went back all the way to the St. Anne and tried to use strength on the truck. And guess what happened?
It worked.
It didn't work, dude. It was a lie, dude. If you think about it, how long that takes. I mean, first
Did you
reaching
play the whole
same
game
end.
just to get to that point.
Yeah, dude. To find someone to trade me. Trading was not easy, by the way, in Pokemon. I had to find someone with a link cable and another game of Pokemon. And even then, if they traded me something, I couldn't use it because I only had like the third badge and no Pokemon would ever listen to me. And yeah, dude, I went through the whole. And then you get strength. Strength is like one of the last things you get, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So it's fucking horrible, man. I went through that whole game, tried to push that truck, and yep, it didn't work out. Turns out the tried and true way of catching it is getting into 2 fights with trainers, but before they walk up to you, when you walk within a certain distance of a trainer, if they're looking in your direction, that exclamation point will pop up on their head. So if you walk by them and just as that exclamation point pops up, you press start and fly to a different location and run into another trainer and do that same thing, but this time fly, I think it was to Viridian or Saffron City. And once you got
the
there,
one with the ocean?
Yeah, I think it is the one with the ocean.
Yeah,
So
see, that's
Viridian.
the way I did it. And then that's the way to do Missing No.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah, you go to Viridian City and you walk. I think they said it was 2 steps to the left, and you'll get into a random fight with a Mew, and that's how you catch him. Yeah. And it's kind of funny that Rick is just remembering how to do this after I'm explaining it.
No, that's what I mean, though. That's how you do the Missing No one. Because, my old man said.
Which means that I really did beat Rick in 5th grade in that Pokemon battle, man. Because he really. If this tells us anything,
I remember somebody
Rick's
was
hard
crying.
Of memory. Yeah, that definitely did not happen.
Definitely wasn't me, though.
But yeah, man. I mean, there was so much in that game too. Like you said, with Missing No and getting infinite Master Balls and infinite Rare Candy and all that shit, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I was just like kind of upset. I don't know if if you guys are all upset with this, but recently they had Pikachu speaking or talking to Ash. First they, one of the movies. Yeah, dude, I'm like pretty salty. First they got rid of the whole backstory between what was it, like Brock and Misty. I know they're supposed to be gym leaders, but they just got rid of them completely. So our childhood was like nearly wiped clean. And then they said, you know what, we gotta finish off these suckers. So let's make Pikachu talk. And I was like, what? Why are you gonna make Pikachu talk? And then when you hear it, it just sounds like super cheesy, lemon squeezy. And I was like, okay. So that point, I don't know. For me, I was kind of salty, so I just ended up deleting Pokemon Go. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done now.
You okay, man? You got that one off your chest, too. You okay,
yeah,
bro?
I just gotta.
I know you got a vent, man.
I needed someone to talk to.
Well, yeah, so going back and thinking about it, how we were talking about how a lot of these mysteries and myths in Grand Theft Auto and Destiny, there's a whole community of people talking about it on the internet, figuring this stuff out together. How the hell? We were in 5th grade when Pokemon came out.
That's my question. How did we
talk to each other about this? Who was the first person to find out about Missing No and tell everybody else how to get it? Who was the first person to find out about you? Where the hell did I hear about this truck next to the St. Anne, dude? Like, what?
Because it wasn't in a book, it wasn't even in a magazine, was it? We don't have internet back in the day, and all we were like just elementary kids, which is even more crazy. It's like, where, who was the first to spread this information?
Yeah.
How did it even spread? How did it reach us? And sure enough, like everything was just working. It's like, golly, there must have been someone in the background, a programmer, like just talking to little kids. Dude. Like, hey, little kid, you want to catch a Missing No?
Whoa. Because, I mean, yeah, getting the infinite rare candies was elaborate. You had to have the rare candy on, like, the 13th fucking spot in your inventory, and then you have to surf half on land, half on water. Like, yeah, who came up with that? I think we forget about what life was like before the internet, dude. Or we forget about the power of the word of mouth. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I forgot how to talk to people now. I talk to you online.
I know, bro. It's so crazy. But yeah, man. So those are just some of the myths and mysteries that we wanted to highlight today. Just, I think it goes back to what we always commend the gaming community for. That's it, just in itself, community. You know, coming together, playing games together, figuring shit out, man, and finding out whether stuff's bullshit or not. And I know there's a bunch more out there. I'd like to hear what some other ones are, man, if anybody out there has any more. I know I remember the one where you could play as the hand in Smash Bros. Melee.
Was that true?
Oh, that one was, yeah, you never did that?
No.
Because you know the last boss in Smash Bros. Is the glove or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can glitch it so you can play as him. And of course you can't kill him because you can't knock him off the stage, right? He's just a fucking floating hand. But yeah, man, I'd like to hear if anybody else has some out there that will just blow our minds, dude. If it's true or not, too. If it was just a rumor that was started and never got found true, or if it was a rumor started that turned out being true. I'm sure there's a lot of those out there like that. But yeah, now we get into a part of the show where we recommend some games to you guys. What do you got for us this week, man?
I totally forgot. Oh yeah. So this week I would definitely recommend checking out. I think it's on, or well, it came out on PS3, but it might be on PS4 and all that. Vita. It is Disgaea 3. Disgaea.
Okay.
Why do I say Disgaea? Disgaea 3. And I think like playing that game, it has a good story, of course, and the gameplay is really good. It's a tactics-based game, anime RPG kind of style, and the story is kind of like a 2 flat screen 2D flat screen anime conversing with each other. But what makes it most exciting is the gameplay. You know, you can stack your units on each other and, you know, double team and all that, and it's just the quirky anime-ness of each of the Disgaea games. I know number 2 was really good, and number 4 got good reviews, so I'm guessing I recommend checking out the series of those games because it's just pretty quirky, you know? Like, if you want to play and listen to anime, this is the kind of game you would be doing. Aside from Persona 5, which I definitely got to play because I have to. Did I talk about this in Persona 5 about the bet going on the
oh yeah,
podcast?
about your waifu? Yeah.
Yeah.
You have one? Or you don't have one yet?
No, I got to start playing that game, so that way I can easily win $10. I won't do that. I'm not messed up. But Disgaea, check that game out. You're basically a demon lord, some sort of demon lord in each of the games, and my old man syndrome's coming up, and you either save the world, destroy the world, but not really destroy the world. You have to save the world, something like that. So you just have to fight a greater evil in the game. And there's, of course, some of the characters hook up, the main characters. One is a hero and one's a demon lord, but they both join together, and you know, they end up getting together and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. There's a lot of penguins in there, if you like penguins. And there's penguins in Starbound if you want to get a penguin on your crew, just like that. But these penguins are, they like to smart talk and, you know, like talk trash and you know, like they're very mischief. But get them on your team. They do a lot of damage and all that. So, yep, definitely recommend that game.
Nice, man. Talking about it a little bit today, I'm actually going to recommend Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know if we've recommended that on the show before, but
did we?
I don't know.
No.
But there's so much to do in that game now that I'm thinking about it. With taking drugs to
that's your first.
Yeah, because then you hallucinate.
I would assume like
you're
the first would be like robbing a bank or like crashing a plane.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. No, but you know what I'm finding out about myself is I'm starting to enjoy the small things, the small little details in the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine if you can drive, shoot, run, skydive in a video game. That's cool. But small things like in Starbound, you know, you could change your personality by the press of a button. You know, if you're talking to someone and they don't say something right, you could press the down button and you'll start crying or something like that, you know. Or whenever you're mining something, just the way stuff falls when you're mining, you know, and the way the gravity acts on different planets is, I'm starting to enjoy the little things like that. So the fact that you can go out in Grand Theft Auto 5, eat a mushroom, and fucking
and then trip out,
turn into a coyote or into a seagull or something is just amazing to me. Just the small stuff that people will take the time to put in their video games, you know. So small stuff like that, or as Rick was saying, big stuff like robbing a bank, doing heists. I mean, I know there's a really big community that uses Grand Theft Auto as a racing game. You know, you can make your own tracks on there and just race like that.
I saw a lot of videos like that.
Yeah. I know there's Tron bikes in that game now, where, you know, it's a bike, and if you press R1 or something while you're riding, you leave a trail behind you, and people can crash and die in that trail, you know. So they have stadiums where you just drive around, you know. Yeah. I think there's a battle royale mode in Destiny now, in Grand Theft Auto now as a mod. The story's okay, the world is alive, and you can do a lot in it. The cool things are when you are just on the side of the road and a random event happens where someone's getting robbed and you save them. They turn out to be a getaway driver, so they can help you on your next heist, you know. Just small things like that. And then we're not even diving into online yet, where you could just play with a bunch of friends and do anything, right? I think one of my funniest memories is when one of us first got that loft in that high rise. And we're all just partying in there. And again, the small stuff, you can get drunk, hit a bong, you can meet strippers and call them over for lap dances at your house and stuff. And that apartment is not just its own place, it's still tied into the world, you know. So I remember one time we were all partying in there, and this guy was flying by in a jet shooting us with rockets and shit.
Damn.
And we were just looking at him because, you know, he can't blow up the building, so we're just looking at him just shooting us with rockets and shit. And we decide, okay, yeah, let's go, you know, we'll go out and do some races or something. So we leave my apartment. That guy starts blowing us up, dude, once we get out of the fucking garage. Like, holy shit. So we all had to get like anti-air missiles and fucking blow him up. Oh, and that was another one. Speaking of anti-air missiles, remember that one time when that guy was in a tank just killing everybody?
And he was fucking up everything.
He was killing everyone. I forgot what Rick and I were doing, but we were in a helicopter and we saw him killing everyone. So we're like, all right, dude, we got to do something about this. So I remember Rick dropped me off on a roof, and he starts flying away, and the guy starts, I think the cops were shooting you or something like that.
I think he shot me out of the sky with a tank.
Oh, okay. So yeah, Rick played a little decoy, and I was on this roof like the fucking Taliban, dude, with my rocket launcher. And I shot my rocket launcher and blew up the tank, dude. It was so and this is just organic gameplay. It's not a set piece or a mission that makes you do this. It's just someone just randomly causing terror on Grand Theft Auto Online server. Rick and I needing to do something about it. So there's endless fun to be had in that game, dude. So much to do. Like I said, I'm starting to appreciate the small little details in games now, and Grand Theft Auto 5 is full of them, which makes me even more excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's just gonna be Grand Theft Auto 5 in the Wild West, man. Cannot wait.
No laws.
So yeah, that is it for us this week. Next week is a big weekend. It'll be PSX review weekend, man. We'll just talk about things we've seen, people we saw, smells we've smelled, food we've tasted, just the whole sensory explosion that is PSX, man. We'll be talking about next week. But until then, Rick, some words of wisdom?
If you want to beat Boo Wop in Pokemon, use Fire Pokemon.